Primal video pitch, first episode, season 3. Flames burning. We slowly push in, and they kind of heat ripple, dissolve, as we see this man on the ground. And he's kind of like an African shaman type dude. His eyes open up. He stands up. There's undulating flames behind him. He looks. Oh, his whole village is on fire. Super emotional. Drops to the ground. Grabs an arrow from his back. Rips it out. Blood comes out. Looks at it. And we rack focus, and we see a groan from this other dude. And then he gets pissed off. And he runs up, and this guy looks up. And the shaman runs in, and we see this evil dude with a chimp skull helmet type on. And he stabs him. The other guy screams. Gets his resolve back. And then he sees in the distance the village. And as we kind of know, if we saw the last episode from the second season, this is Mira's village in the distance. He has an idea. Got this little musical montage. Runs in. His hut is burning. We see all these potions. Flames roar. He runs in, grabs a potion, grabs another one, grabs a staff, pours her liquid, sprinkles some stuff in, grabs a knife, slices the guy's head off. Lightning strikes. Brings up his head, and the blood drips as we pan down with it. It drops into the potion. Brings up an eyeball. Drops it. Dark magic is being done here. We cut to the guy, and his hand comes in. Rips out his heart. The heart is beating with this green magic energy. He brings it up. Lightning strikes. Goes down. Hits the heart. Cut to the moon. We see the heart now is inside his staff, and it's glowing. Probably has a pulse to it. And he walks in. Walking up these steps, and we see these chambers. He continues in. Comes up, camera's inside the chamber. He puts his staff, and it illuminates a cocooned, a mummified person. This is obviously their burial ground. Not the one he's looking for. This is what he's looking for. We see there's like these little like cave drawings and all these gifts and stuff. And then we cut inside and we see Spear's silhouette. This is obviously where they buried Spear, and it tells the story of him as a hero to their village. He comes forward, and now the light illuminates the interior, and now we see the cocoon Spear. Oh, he brings the staff in front of him. We rack focus. Waves it around. The magic is coming alive. Becomes this crazy ass demon. Comes in. Starts shaking him around, spinning. The magic is spinning all around the body. And then it finds a way in and goes inside. The body drops. He closes his eyes. His eyes are now glowing green. Slow trucking, and all of a sudden, Spear's burned hand comes out from where we left him. Another body shakes. Another hand comes out. He starts to step back. Music's getting crazy. We hear footsteps. And one by one we reveal a leg through steps, partially burned, grayed out, no life to this thing. And it comes out and boom, zombie spear. We see the same glowing eyes on Spear as on him. Obviously, he's in his control. He lifts up his arm, and then he points. Spear looks, and we see some fire in this distant little village thing. We're not sure what it is, in the middle of the forest. And then we pull out, and he's pointing to it, and then Spear roars a crazy zombie roar. And he starts to walk off. Crazy, scary moon. He's approaching it. We see the fire, and we see who's by this fire. It's those chimp-skulled guys who attacked the shaman's village, and they're just eating. And we see a whole bunch of them, and this is kind of their home in the forest. And they're all eating, and kind of chilling. Some are sleeping. They hear a sound. Suddenly they all wake up. More stand up as we pull out. More stand up, ready to fight. What's coming? Growing louder. Now we see the silhouette of Zombie Spear appear. They scream like crazy chimps. They're all going crazy, ready for a battle. And now we see the shaman behind Zombie Spear as all the chipmen are screaming like crazy. And then he gestures, and then Zombie Spear screams, and he attacks. Good, he gets stabbed right through. He breaks the lance and then screams. They're like, holy shit. He attacks like a brute. There's no martial arts. There's no choreography. He's just going to town at him. Crashing skulls. Spins around, just punches. Another guy comes in. He just grabs him by the neck and then throws him out of the way. More guys come in. He just smashes them down. Another guy hits him. Spears him in. He just going to town. This guy awakens. He's still alive, and he sees the green power controlling Spear. He looks back, and he sees the green eyes as Spear's still kicking ass to all these chimp men. And then he realizes that's the key, that's the control. He screams, looks around, sees. He grabs a spear, antics back, and kills the shaman. Shaman screams. The magic is gone as he falls dead. And the control is gone. And that's it. He's lifeless, mindless Spear. And he just settles. And he's just standing there. And the alive chimpman who's left runs up. And just slices a part of his brain off. It lands. And he's like, sees the part. Sees Spear's completely still alive. And he runs off. Spear looks, and we see all the damage he's caused. And he looks, and then he brings up his hands, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And they're all like disformed and weirdly articulated. He can barely control them. And then he looks, and he just is a zombie. There's nothing for him to do. And he looks, and the fly flies away. And he's just standing there. And now the sun starts to come in. And now we see all the sounds of the morning forest come in. And the light shines on him. And we hear some water and some more sounds in the distance. And this kind of interests him. And then he kind of protects himself from the sun a little bit. But it kind of warms him somehow. Kind of feels good. More river and water sounds fade in, getting louder. And now he hears some animal sounds or something in there. Now he starts to turn. And starts to, like he's a baby learning his first steps, starts the zombie walk. Tons of flies are on his body, disgusting rotten flesh. The little zebra sips some water. It smells something, it comes up. Another zebra comes up. Then all these animals start to smell. And the elephant smells. Woo! They all run away from the watering hole. And we see the reflection of Spear as he sees himself. And then he touches his exposed brain. Checking his teeth, the bottom gums are all missing. And then all of a sudden there's a little shadow coming into the water. Giant alligator grabs him, puts him in the water, underwater, swimming with zombie Spear in his mouth. And then we see zombie Spear inside his mouth. And then he's like, grabs his teeth, and opens up his mouth, and he smashes it shut again, goes fast, starts to spin around like alligators do underwater. and we're inside him, and now we're inside again, and then all of a sudden he's got his tongue, and then he just rips out. All the blood spurts out. The alligator retreats back, and we stay in the water for a while, and then the blood comes up, and Spear, and the alligator blood comes out. He's covered, and we see the body of the alligator come up in the back, and then storm clouds roll in. Bloop, 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 bloop. Starts to rain and washing off the blood. Lightning strikes, and he looks. Kind of got his attention. Horrible, horrible rain. The bug flies away as Spear passes. We do a little walking in the rain montage with some weird music as he's getting closer, and we just dissolve misty backgrounds. Like a little mood piece, and then we see on the ground, he's continuing forward, and now water starts to fill up, and it's filling up almost to his ankles now, and he's walking, the rain's still going hardcore, and then he stops and he looks down, and now he's in the middle of like a flash flood, basically. And some trees are starting to move. It's pretty serious. We see debris going past, and we cut back, and he's just looking at it. He doesn't know how to, process all this. And then, this bandaged hand goes through. He looks, screaming. This guy's getting, flash flooded away. And we cut to him, and it's like there's something inside. Something's trying to get her memory back. And we're going to do this crazy watercolor, weird, montage, feeling crazy thing. And then it sparks something, and then he goes after him. As the guy's flowing, he chases. Now we see the reflection of this branch in the water, and he comes in, and we see the underwater. The camera's actually underwater, and we see the guy, and then he comes in, and Spear grabs him. And then he lifts him up. And then he's all covered up, but there's some disfigurement on his face. And then we push in on Zombie Spear, and he's like, ah! And he breaks free from him, even though he saved his life, and he runs off. Spear is very interested in this. Push in on him, some kind of thought process, and then he goes after him. And we see behind Zombie Spear super fast, and he goes past him, and then right in front, and he gets him. And we push in, and the guy reveals himself, and his face is completely disfigured. He's a leper. He's got leprosy. And then Spear's like, he's just like him. And then he realizes he's kind of like a weird leper, maybe also with his brain exposed. And then Spear kind of sets him down, and he goes to touch his nose, and then he touches his own nose, and they're kind of very similar. All the skin is burned off of it. And I was like, he kind of smiles. And he gets an idea. And he's beckoning him to follow him. And he's running away. And then Spear's like, okay. And then he follows. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're entering the desert. Boom, 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 boom. And he's running, and Spears like, trying his best to keep up. Boom, 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 boom. Now they've totally entered the desert now. Boom, 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 boom. And he runs. Spear follows. And he stops, and we see this little tents and a village, and the guy runs in, and it's very hidden. And then he runs in, and there's all these other people bandaged up like him, and he's like, and people start coming out from the tents, and they start coming out, and we see them all bandaged up and hidden. And And we see Zombie Spear just standing there. Ah! And they freak out. They run. Ah! There's panic. And he's like, calm down. And then everybody runs back into their huts. And he's trying to stop them. And he's just standing there. Boom, 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 boom. And he's bringing him slowly into the village. People are starting to peek gently at what is this thing. Boom, 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 boom. He walks through, pan over as more people pan out to peek out. Looking. More people are looking, interested. And then he's like, Spear stops, and he's like, And now slowly all the people start coming out. And Spear looks, and they're kind of like zombies almost. Fucked up feet, and they're all got leprosy, and it's like this leper colony as they all come out. Horrible, but they're all just kind of like him, and they're all kind of coming at him. And one comes close, and it's really mangled. And they're so interested in him, and they start kind of touching him, and he's looking, and then the guy that brought him in kind of smiles, like, yeah, they made him one of their own. And he's like, and he's showing him his house, and Spear follows, and he comes into the tent, and we see these rugs and stuff and sand, and it all looks kind of nice. And he kind of persuades him to kind of go in, and Spear just kind of walks in, and he kind of sits. And he kind of looks back, and he's like, and he kind of runs off and leaves him alone. And Spear looks down, and we see a little scorpion, and he left some footsteps. And this does something, and you push in that same, he makes a dot also. And that sparks it. And the imaging, the flashback starts to morph, and it becomes the cave painting. It's the cave drawing that Spear's recognizing. And then he gets down, and then he starts to draw. But he doesn't remember, so it's just lines. But still, it's a little bit of Spear coming back. And it's more memories are kind of flooding. As we see, it's trying to understand it all. And then we hear a thundering. Horses coming. This guy comes out. He sees. He starts screaming. And then Bedouin assassins run in. They're right in, and they're trying to kill all the lepers. They found him. People are scrambling, running around as the Bedouin assassins run in. Slice another one. Throws a spear, kills another one. And we follow the sword, beheads another one. And this one just tramples with a horse. Blood comes out. Spear stands up to hear all the yells, and he sees people running, and the assassins are killing more and more. And more things starts to spark. We hear echoes of his children, the silhouette, and the dino eating his kids. And it's just death and screaming that he's remembering. And then more people are running through, and the guy comes in. And now he's going to do something about it. And the guy's chasing this woman, and then he spear tackles him off the horse. The horse whinnies. He comes down. And then he antics back and just breaks the shit out of his head. And then the horse goes through. The other ones look. And he stands up over his dead body. And he looks back at him. And kind of the chieftain's like, what the fuck is this? And he attacks. And Spear just picks up the whole fucking horse and tosses it. And the guy comes in from the back, whoosh, slashes his arm, and he grabs his tail and gets whoosh, thrown off screen. And he's riding the tail, and he jumps up, smashes him, and then jumps on the horse, and the guy flies off. And then he's like, wait, this is familiar. And now we reveal, again, silhouetted imagery, a memory of him on top of Fang. We know what it is. And he gets kind of comfortable with it. But the horse doesn't like it. But it starts to run off. He's got no control of it. It runs out of the village. The leftover Bedouin assassins chase him. He's riding out into the moonlit desert. They're all chasing him. Arrows hit him. The horse throws him off. He rolls. Stands up. He gets slashed. Another guy comes in from the rear. Spears him. Another guy grabs the spear and puts it out. Some guts come flying. He comes running after him as the guy turns around to come back at him. But then, holy shit. Here comes spear. Knocks the horse and the guy off. Lands. The guy attacks. Bitch slaps the horse. The horse spins around as the guy misses him, spins around and falls off screen. The guy flies off the horse, comes up, runs. Spear just catches his arm and then pushes him, and holding onto the arm rips his arm off. And then a famous spear move starts pushing him down, and then beats his shit out of him with his own arm. Then lifts him up and throws his body at the guys. The two leftover guys. We see the dead body of the chief. We pan up. We don't want anything to do with that. They ride off. And the guy's like, oh my god, he saved us. And he looks, and there's a bunch of dead villagers, but still a bunch are left over. This is their protector. And then he comes up to him. And he's like, come. Come back. And Spear, of course, doesn't have any purpose, so he's going to do it. And then all of a sudden, a distant, far off roar. And we see the imagery come in, sharpest that it's ever been, of Fang roaring. He has to follow it. We 360 turn around. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. He has purpose. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Season 3, Episode 22. Hot Serengeti Sun. Rack focus. Long tongue comes in. Peaceful day. Baby comes in. Look, drinking from the mama. Licks him. Little mouse. Eating some dung. Bzzz. Uh-oh, something's up. Birds fly away. All the creatures look. Comes down. The mouse runs off. Everybody's looking. Baby's afraid. Perks up. All of a sudden we see the reflection in the eyes. Something's walking towards them. causing a giant stampede. Something's walking. Dust starting to settle. A little last one goes through. And of course we know it is zombie spirit. He's just walking. Birds fly away. He goes right in the water, goes right underneath, not even thinking anything about it. Walks through the water and out. Just walking. We hear that distant roar that we established at the end of episode 1. Now we hear it again. He stops. We push in on him. We hear it again. He recognizes it. We have that watercolor image, and it's a fang, barely recognizable, roaring, all echoed out and distorted. We're not sure what it is, but we know. And then he's focusing on it, trying to remember, and he turns, and he sees maybe another faint little roar there. That's the way he's got to go. Turns. Whatever the zombie spirit theme is, we're playing it as we're dissolving backgrounds, and he's walking and walking, and then he stops, and it's turned to night. Quiet desert night. A giant sandworm type thing comes out. Spear doesn't move. He doesn't recognize it. He has no memories of this. It comes in, hideously hithers at him, and it's about to bite him. And all the deepness of the mouth and the teeth and the drooling. His eyes grow. The memory becomes something trying to form. It starts to antic back to bite him. And now we see the memory, another watercolor of spear running. We're not sure what, from some creature. Maybe it's from the Plague of Madness episode, and he's running from the zombie dinosaur. And then it clicks in, the instinct to run from danger. He takes a step back as it finally antics, and then he takes off. It misses. Digs underground. He's running. Some of his instincts kicking in, even like an ape-like run. It bursts out of the ground. We're following with him. It comes around. Attacks. Another explosion as he just misses. It digs underneath. He flies and jumps. It's coming after him. He's running. And then all of a sudden, there's a pit. He falls into a pit of briar thorns, and he's cut in the middle of it. He's trying to struggle. It pains him. It rips his foot. Hits his brain. We switch over. Coming at him. Hits him. Comes through. Rips through all the thorns. Hits the wall. burrows through, comes out the other end. They both roll out. He hits. The worm settles. It digs its way right away in. He gets up. There's quiet all of a sudden. He's looking. Seems like it's gone. Okay. And he starts to turn and just walk away. It's zombie spear, you know. Of course it comes back. Takes him up high into the sky, crushing him. He rips it open, jumps out of it, comes down, lands, runs, and then smash. He's still underneath, pushes it open, takes a bite, rips some of its flesh. Hideous scream from the creature. It comes in, envelops him, starts to crush him as it's still screaming for pain, burying him underneath. And all of a sudden the sunrise starts coming in. The sun comes in, and this hideous night creature is allergic to the sun or whatever. It's burning. It quickly digs itself into the ground, taking spear with him. The sun comes over. Spear's hand comes out. All fucked up. And he looks back. And he sees his shadow and the hole. All of a sudden we hear the same fang type roar from off screen. He looks. We hear it again in the distance, and he continues to follow it. Something about it he has to follow. The sun becomes twice as hot and yellow, almost white, burning through everything. It's the hot desert sun. Everything has got a heat ripple on it as we come finally down and we see Spear walking, as if the ground itself is bubbling. The sound becomes almost like an inferno, like he's on top of the sun himself, and he's walking. The flesh is almost burning, it's so hot. And then some surrealness comes in. The trees begin to melt and form into the background and disappear. He's unmoved by it, but there's something weird. The ground starts to crack and disappear. A fly flies through this surreal scene, all a heat illusion of what's happening. What's coming? It's himself, but as we know him. looks up at the spear and gracefully, slowly touches it. There's something so familiar about all this. And then it starts to rain, but not rain of water. Flames. All of a sudden, the spear image starts to catch fire. And it's all kind of a memory from episode 20. And now the rain starts to hit him. And it's actually raining, but it's water. And it's nighttime. The ground rumbles. Uh-oh. Then we're night worm. Lightning strikes. He sees the tree. He's already starting to form some thought. Jumps up. Still night and raining. Climbs up the tree. And just sits. The night worm just goes through, seeking another soul to eat. Commercial. We come back. The sun comes through and boop, 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 boop. Little leaves come up. Spear comes down. Pan over. He's again forgotten what he's doing. And then we hear it. The roar. He looks and we see this desert mountain. That's where it's coming from. We hear that familiar roar again. Boom. He's climbing. Rocks fall. Hits him unfazed. We see vases on the ground. Steps. This must be some kind of ancient civilization or something. Some vines overgrown. A deserted, overgrown, ancient city. He starts to enter. Skeleton bounces away. He's walking in. It's eerily quiet. Very fang silhouette like goes through. He walks through. And we see there's some water. It's the shots through the water. Sees the ancient city. And then there's eyes. The growl is there. Another watercolory flashback from the roar. Could it be Fang? And now there's multiple roars. Is it an echo? Or is there multiple fangs? The silhouette. It's her. It's A lion. Boom. Spear doesn't recognize this. It jumps down. It paces around him. He doesn't like Spear's smell. The Spear watches. It's pawing at him like a cat. And then just scratches him. And then instinctively he slaps back and he bitch slaps the lion. The lion then tackles him off screen. Goes at him. And jumps off and pushes him up and then tackles him down. And then it smashes Spear in the face. And then Spear grabs it. They're like wrestling. Throws him down. Brute strength. Smashes the lion. You fucking choked him out. And he scratches him and then lifts him up and then throws him off screen. Zombie Spear is much strong. Another lion. Another one. And another one. Another one. He's surrounded. He's walked himself into a den of lions. Sorry. All roaring. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? That image, the watercolor image of him running away, escaping, we know he's been through this a lot. The instinct kicks in. He fucking takes off. They all go for chasing him. One ducks. Gets out of the way. He's running. They're all after him. They jump on him. They grab him, but he's fucking strong. Another one jumps on him. It's like taking down an elephant. Another one jumps on him. More are coming in. They bite. He screams. The weight, he's holding up such weight. Starting to walk forward, but slowing down. The ground is cracking beneath him, and then the ground gives. They all fall into the pit, and then there's water underneath the pit. They all sink down. He sinks to the ground. He looks up, and all the cats are trying to swim, but cats don't swim. And he's clawing, trying to get out. Another one's clawing, trying to get out. And then he looks, and he just starts to walk away underwater. He sees an exit, and then the cats, now dying one by one, drowned, floating down. It's a little sad, but okay. And then he comes out of the water. Some kind of underground burial chamber type thing. There's hieroglyphics on the walls. He sees the sunlight. His way out. We see this image. Tackled by another lion. More lions come. Jumps him. He kicks one off. Flips one around. He's fucking pissed. He jumps, the meat in air, and then he grabs the mouth and bites his nose. Spins it around, throws him off. The lion's bloody. Another one jumps on his back. He grabs his legs and flips him around. Body slams him up, and then hits him with the other lion, and then something's watching. He's all bloody and bruised, walks out. Something's not happy. He walks out. Looks around. Boom! Fucking A, more lions. biggest, deepest lion roar, almost monstrous-like. They all stop. They hear it. We know who's been watching. He comes forward. Giant ass monster, prehistoric lion. All the other little lions cower away and move. Spears frozen. It's fucking gigantic. It jumps at him. He tries to run. He chases after him, springs again. Jumps, covering his blocking his way. Spear slides, tries to run back. It jumps off the demolished building, chases of him. That comes and brings him down. Goes at his leg, drags him, spins him around, bites his abdomen, lifts him up, shakes him around like a cat, throws him, hits the rock, chases him, claws at him, he rolls off, he goes on top of him, spins around, bites him again, going at him, and then Spear sticks his thumb in his eye. He rears back. Spear makes a run for it, and he runs into the skeleton of the ancient race, and it's got a spear. And there it is. He brings it up and touches it just like he did in his surreal heat vision stroke thing. The monster lion, alpha lion, is pissed off. Spear turns around. He's got the spear. Charges at him. He runs. And then it leaps. Frozen in time. Camera shake. And there he is on top. The blood oozes out. It's over. He looks. The lions all have witnessed this. Him taking down the alpha. And they bow to him. And they all leave. He's the new alpha. And they walk away. And he sees the moon. And then he leaves.